Okay, we're ready for another pantry makeover, and I'm so excited to show you this because this is a huge deep pantry, and a lot of you can relate to how this looks. So let's take it from the beginning. We have stuff clear on the floor, paper goods and boxes and cases of food. Does this look familiar to you? And then we go up and look at all this. There's tons of room in here, but there's just a lot of things that could be organized a little bit better. See all these loose little packages over here? This is all what we're going to be working with. And let's take you all around because it actually goes all the way around here. You can see all kinds of appliances up here. There's vegetables and fruits. Look at that. It's just kind of a bunch of things that we all have in our pantry. Look at all those jars of food. And then over here is kind of a craft center. So we're going to see what we can do to turn this area into something really functional. Just to give you the dimensions, this is about an 8-foot by 12, 6-foot by 12-foot, would you say? 6 by 10 area. And this is right off the kitchen, so we're going to give you the long right here. Okay, ready for this? Here we go. Okay, so from our cute little homeowner, Jen. Jen, show us what is not working in your pantry.
Okay, the paper products. They're constantly spilling out. My kids help put away the dishes, and so these are all of our storage containers that I try to keep organized in one basket. But it's hard for them. The cereal always, I can't get the cereal out, or I can't open it. Things just kind of keep piling on top of each other. And
okay, and looks like you've got a bunch of bread here.
We do have
sitting
a
on
lot
the
of
shelf.
bread.
Lots of cans. You have a great amount of food, which is really good.
We have a lot of food.
And you know, Jen, you mentioned that you don't have a basement.
We don't.
So this is where everything goes, right?
This is where my food storage goes. Well, about a fourth of it, perhaps. The other half is in the garage, which I know is not the best place to store it, but
okay.
I'd like to be more efficient where I can keep more food storage in here. And just have it where I can easily access things and not have so much on the floor.
Yeah. See, and there is a lot on the floor, so let's get to work.
All right.
Okay. So we're finally ready for the reveal. This took about 6 hours. Yes? 6, Jen? It seems like 12. But this is what we did, and we're going to first give you the whole kind of 1-2 overview so you can kind of see how we organize this space, and then we're going to show you kind of close-up of where we put things. Look at that. That's all of her canned goods. Isn't that beautiful? And then on this shelf over here, this was kind of a mishmash of things, but now we've turned it into this nice, beautiful, orderly pantry. And I'm so excited to walk you through because I think you're going to appreciate some of her organizing things that she did that are unique to her space. So up here, now she just bought this shelf here, kind of at a big industrial, probably a Home Depot or Costco or something. It's just a big industrial shelf. It's really heavy duty. And you'll notice right here that you can adjust the shelves, which is really nice. So we got to move them up and down as we wanted. So down on the very first level right here, we put all of her large appliances. You'll see that she has her wheat grinder, some of her big canning pots. She does a lot of canning, her ice cream machine. And then here we made a center just for all of her home canned goods. And you'll notice that we left them in the boxes so that they would just be protected. And look at that. She's got an entire row of canned peaches. She's got an entire row here of tomatoes and homemade salsas. And I like here, she had this already. She had a nice basket for her potatoes, and she has another one here for all of her onions. On this shelf, she has all of the smaller jars. Do you see these? These are, look at how delicious this looks. This is apricot syrup that she made from her apricots from the garden. And then she has jams. And she has more and more jams. And I like the adjustable shelves because you can see we could fit the smaller jars on one and then the larger jars on another. Up at the top here, we designated this whole shelf just for tomato products. So she has tomato paste, tomato sauce, tomato dices, stewed tomatoes, and she knows exactly where to find all of her tomatoes. Isn't that great? And here at the top, we just have all the extra bulk things. There's juices, there's big gallons of oil, there's some of her long-term food storage, honey and eggs and things like that. So this has really taken on kind of a life of its own, and it's great because it's all kind of similar things, but they're divided into sections that just make sense. Okay, on this shelf right here we have all of her soups and canned goods. So we have all of her tomato soups, all of her chicken noodle soups, everything like that. So you can see even a place right here for all the kitties' little things, SpaghettiOs and all their favorite beef stews and things. And then we have her salsas, her spaghetti sauces. And then here in the corner where she wouldn't go as much, we've put all of her canned tuna, clams, all of her canned meats. Down on this shelf, now these are not adjustable, but somehow they just worked really well. They're just wire shelves. We put all of her vegetables. You'll see cans of pinto beans, kidney beans, all of these beans. Look at that. And it just continues more and more and more vegetables clear to the very end. Isn't that great? She does a lot of case lot shopping, which is smart because she has a family of 7. So it's really nice to have all of this space. On this next one, she has all of her fruits, and it goes clear to the back here. And when you look at your fruit, just determine the ones that you're going to use the least and have those in the corners. And then you just use the most common ones right in the front. And you can see that we've torn off the ends of the cases, see right here, so that you can see what's actually inside. But it's a smart idea to leave them in the cardboard boxes just for stability. And of course, that goes all the way back as well. Underneath here is all of her surplus. Do you see that? All of the cases that she couldn't fit on her shelf, she has down here. So when she goes to replenish the shelves, she knows exactly where all of those things are. Now at the bottom of this one, we have all of her 6-gallon buckets. Again, we're going to label these so she'll have wheat and rice and oats and sugar. And these are really great. If you open them up and put your bags of powdered sugar or your bags of brown sugar, you don't need to take them out of the bags, but it's a nice thing to have them containerized like that. And then at the end here we have a basket for all of her chips and crackers and all those things that the kids like to get to, so it's really easily accessible. Okay, so come down here. This is our first shelf, and this is all of our cereals. And do you see how we've staggered them? So you can actually see that there are some in the back, and you can pull them out really easily. These are our gallon containers, so it's really nice because you can replenish them and you know exactly how much cereal you have. Now I love this row here of our click and flips. Do you see how we have one for hot cocoa packets, another for oatmeal packets, dressing mixes, gravies and sauces, microwave popcorn, baking chips, soup mixes, and seasoning mixes. And you know what? These were all just in boxes, kind of here and there. But when you containerize them, you can see how much you can fit in one tiny space. I love it. I think this is just easy to grab and easy to use. Over here we have containers for all of her beans, and we've labeled those as well. And then the rest of this shelf is simply breakfast kind of items, jams, chocolate milk, syrup, all of those things. And then we have condiments at the end. See how nicely arranged those are? Now up here we have things like peanut butter, and then this entire shelf is just baking supplies. Look at that. And do you see how we kind of stagger them so you can see what's behind and they're not all in front of each other? That works really well. See how we took the cake mixes and we kind of staggered them? That helps you to see everything that's behind. Clear over to here. Look at all those baking things. And at the end we have just a few snack things for kids. Now at the top here, we're making this her baking station. So she has her sugar, her flours, her chocolate chips, her oats, all of her little grains right here. And again, she's going to take from her big buckets at the bottom of the shelf and she'll replenish into these gallon-sized containers because they're easy to take into the kitchen. And then here we have just a packet right here for Jellos because our kids like the Jello. Then we have specialty pastas. So we've put these in half-gallon containers. She has bow tie pasta. She has large shells, she has small shells, and she has elbow macaroni. So those work really well, stacked right there. And then she has some pastas that she's not going to containerize because she uses them only once in a while. So she just has a little clip on them, and there they sit on the shelf until she's ready to use them. Now these gallon containers are great for bulk pasta, like egg noodles, penne pasta, spaghetti, like that. So the more you buy, the bigger container you want to use, of course. Here are just more baking things like breadcrumbs, panko, cube stuffing, things like that, and they're all arranged. And then this makes it really easy for her kids when they grab the macaroni and cheese or the top ramen, they're just stacked there together. So one more time, do you see this? How orderly it is? It feels so good, and nothing is out of view. You can see everything nice and clean. And what's really nice is we've kind of sectioned things into you know, canned goods, paper goods, packaged goods, cereals, so that it all makes sense. Before, we had a lot of cans on different shelves and it just didn't work out really well. So here it is. And if you remember, you could never see the floor before. And now look at this. We have nice clear aisles, really easy to navigate in here. It's really easy to get around and it just makes sense. It's a great system. Over here, I want to show you something that she did. She's working on these right here to make an art supply station for her kids, which is really smart. But she had this extra bin right here, and so what she did was we just divided it into different things. Like this is a bowl full of just nuts. So when she wants nuts, she opens this one. Baking supplies in here. Look at this divider. She put all of her baking supplies in these dividers. So food coloring, sprinkles, candles. It just makes it so much easier to access. Down here, more baking supplies because she loves to make cakes, and snacks for the kitties. Look how easy it is for them to just grab them out of this bowl and or this drawer, and it's right on their level. So that's really clever. And then of course she has candy making supplies. So, you know, you can take a space like this that really just kind of is a mishmash, and you can turn it into something really lovely, really functional, and feel great about your food storage space. Look at that, and this is right off her kitchen. It's absolutely beautiful. And then of course, an organization project just wouldn't be an organization project without the famous spice drawer. And so, ta-da, here we go, the labeled, organized, alphabetized spice jars. And aren't they great? Look at, you just pull it out and you have everything you need at your fingertips. No more mismatched spice containers, no more plastic, it's all here. And it's all tucked away in a drawer perfectly. And there you have it, another organization project. It was so much fun, and Jen, what are you going to tell us? How much fun was that? Are you tired?
I'm tired!
But we had so much fun.
We did.
Are you ready to conquer the rest of your house?
I'm working on it.